Hey girlies, welcome back to No Pick Niches Allowed. Today we're going to watch different girls talk about how men can actually ruin your life. Let's keep watching.
Y'all gotta let them men go. It's people without a degree today because of a man. I don't think we understand that men can actually and categorically ruin your life. So we're sitting down saying, "Oh yeah, he's so toxic." No, he can ruin your life. It's so many people today who aren't where they want to be, haven't reached the goals that they wanted to reach, and basically were deterred in life because of a man. So when people are on this app telling y'all, "Hey y'all, choose wisely," "Hey y'all, don't be desperate," "Hey y'all, don't settle," it's more than just having a good man or being in a good relationship or being in a healthy relationship. This is your life. Like, get in the field about it. Get serious about it. Protect your future, protect your goals and ambitions. When you have a toxic man around you, it can literally be the end of you.
So, for those of you that know my story, buckle up, I have an update. And for those of you that don't know my story, buckle up because I got a story for you. So, long story short, for whoever doesn't know, my ex boyfriend cheated on me and got the girl pregnant that he cheated on me with. And I didn't find out until she was like 4 months pregnant and we were still dating. We, of course, broke up though. So, recently, as in this morning, I found something else out. And like when you're going through a breakup and new things just keep coming up throughout however long you're broken up. For me, it's been 9 months and I am still finding things out, which is literally terrible. So to cut to the chase here, last year, him and I went to Spain. This was his idea. He invited me to come there because he was there doing some work and he literally flew me out there. Come to find out this morning, he had this other girl there in Spain right before I got there. So, of course, I'm sitting here like bamboozled because I'm like, what? So, we were basically like taking turns. Like, she left and I flew in. I literally don't know whether to like laugh or cry. There is a very special seat in hell for this man. Like, I knew things were bad, but like, I really didn't think they could keep getting worse. I just personally don't understand how a human being could do these things to somebody that they claim they love and want to spend their life with and just not have remorse. Like, I'm not even sad about it anymore because I've just accepted this is just who he is. But it definitely still messes with my head because I'm like, how? Like, how did we end up here? How did I not see all of this? How was I missing this? And mind you, Spain was like one of my favorite places I've ever visited. Like, I loved it so much, I literally wanted to move there. And he completely just ruined that for me. Like, literally had another girl there less than a week before I got there. I just personally feel so taken advantage of by somebody that I obviously loved and cared about. And it literally makes me sick.
When you're growing up, right, you brainstorm about different careers, right? You might be a dentist, you might be a doctor, you might be a nurse, you might be an engineer, you might be a nail tech, right? You start thinking about what colleges you're going to go to, what state you're going to go to, what hobbies you're going to have, what parties are you going to have. But I don't think a lot of people really sit down and take their dating life as serious. Like, we have like a certain type we go for, maybe a certain aesthetic of life that we want, that we think that we want, but I don't think we really sit down and really date with intention and date strategically and take the people that come in our life very serious and see if they add value or do they add destruction. But if you're 18 and 19, the only thing that you should be worried about is your finances and your health and your family, right? And then down the line, yes, keep in mind about what type of man that you want to date. but your frontal lobe is not even developed until you're 25. So you have no business even thinking about a man right now. But if that's something that you want in your 20s, then after college or towards the end of college, that's when you start thinking about those things, in my opinion. But if that's something that's serious to you, then you should take it serious now. It's going to vary from person to person, obviously. Anyways, y'all, let's keep watching.
Men can actually and categorically ruin your life. So we're sitting down saying,
Yes, and a good man can still be bad for you. It is so easy to assume that when we say that men can ruin women's lives, we are only talking about toxic men who disrespect women when that is not true. Good men who have different expectations for relationships than you do, who have morals and values that don't align with yours, who want to live a certain lifestyle that you are not interested in. Those men are also a danger to your life. Which brings me to my next point, which is that having this mindset that all men are trash while still being open to the idea of being in a relationship in the future is doing a disservice to yourself. Because when you meet a man who is a decent human being, it is going to be that much harder to figure out whether you two are actually compatible or if you are just not used to a man treating you with bare minimum respect. And when you add that onto a scarcity mindset, this idea that you need to choose the option in front of you because you do not believe that there is going to be a better fit coming your way, it is not shocking that there are people who are in unhappy relationships despite believing that they chose a good person. Because two things can be true at once. Someone can be a kind, decent human being and still not be the right fit for you. Which is why it is so important to decenter men. Because when you are in this mindset where you are living a life and making a life that is fulfilling for you, you are not going to allow anyone to be your partner because you are going to be comfortable leaving that spot open for the right person instead of just anyone. Your life, your goals, your future are way too important for you to put at permanent risk because you based a decision off of temporary panic and pressure.
When I look back in my life and I look at the choices that I've made when it came to men, it was terrible choices. They were terrible choices because I made that decision at the time while having a very scarcity mindset. I thought that this was going to be the best person for me because they were kind, smart, and they seemed to care about me more than the loved ones that were put in my life to love me. And so I chose what was right in front of me, and it ended up biting me in my ass because I didn't analyze this person. I didn't take time and vet this person because I just thought that they were the cream of the crop. And so it's very important to take dating extremely serious because one person can change the rest of your life. They can change the course of your life. Okay? And so believe me when I say, take my advice, ladies. Anyways, let's keep watching.
Y'all, I'm sitting here studying. In the midst of me studying, I'm like, dang, I'm really back in nursing school. I'm really about to do my big one with this degree. And all in the midst of it, I'm like, I'm glad I left that man alone. Because if I was still dealing with him, I would not be where I'm at today. I would not be back in school pursuing my dreams today. I feel like God brings people in your life for a reason. And his reason was to teach me a lesson. Because he was no good for me. I was not pursuing what I wanted to do when I was messing around with. What I had to realize, a man can ruin your life if you let him. I ain't never told y'all nothing else. A man can ruin your life if you let him.
y'all gotta let them men go. It's people without a degree to.
Let's talk about it, ladies. And I agree with what she said, but let me touch bases on that. It's really about knowing the person that you're talking to or taking your time, because she's right. And I think love is now the worst mental disease that you could have. You can get mentally ill off of love. Like, I had a one-on-one, I told you about the delusional woman who literally told me she would have never went to college and got a degree if she would have just married the dude she wanted. She would have been a stay-at-home mom. And he didn't want her. He had a whole girlfriend while he was talking to her. Never took her serious. She said she would have never got a degree. She would have never got her real estate license. She said she would literally give up everything just to go have his babies and be a stay-at-home mom. And she said he treated her like shit. But she said she would have stayed because she wanted to show and prove her loyalty. Even though he treated her like shit, she wanted to prove to him that she was there. That shit is a mental illness. Like, if a person who wants to be with you would not treat you like this, I'm going to leave it at that. But y'all not going to listen to me.
It's people without a degree today because of a man. I don't think we understand that men can actually and categorically ruin your life. So many people today who aren't where they want to be, haven't reached the goals that they wanted to reach, and, basically were deterred in life because of a man.
Women are often raised to be selfless, to nurture, to pour into other people even when her cup is empty. And men often are raised to prioritize themselves and their own happiness. So when opportunities come up, he's not thinking about the relationship. He's not thinking about, what it means for her. He's going to take it. But I feel like women don't often do that. You're considered a bad girlfriend if you don't drop everything to be at this man's side. How many times we have seen women sacrifice their dreams, their goals, all of this for the sake of a man, just for that same man to throw it back in her face years later and to mock her for not being accomplished. These are the same men that beg their wives to quit their job to be a full-time mom. And then after a few years of that, they mock her for not earning an income because of all of her labor is unpaid. You shouldn't be the only one always expected to do the sacrificing. You shouldn't be the only one that has to drop out of school or quit your job or stop earning an income or leave your dream job or move away from everything. You shouldn't always have to be the one who is doing all the sacrificing.
It's people without a degree today because of a man.
Back when I was in college, I was a sales associate at a clothing store, and most of the other girls who worked there were also in college at the time too. And we had this one manager who was just an awful person, just the meanest person ever, and she treated all of us like crap. She was so horribly rude and disgusting and just loved making people cry. Now, after working there for a while, I learned that she was married to a man who treated her like garbage. She wasn't happy in that marriage, but she felt stuck. And I remember her saying one day that she regretted getting married instead of going to college and becoming a vet like she wanted to. And I'm sure that's why she was so mean to everyone that worked there, because she was jealous of the fact that we were going to college and doing what she wished she had done. But she didn't do it because she chose to get married instead of pursuing her dreams and accomplishing whatever goals she had for herself. Don't chase a man. Chase your degree and get your dream job. Worry about a man later, so you don't have to live a life filled with regrets or feel like you're stuck in a relationship.
Get your degrees. Go out with your friends. Get new hobbies. Whatever that makes you happy, do it now. Okay? Because men don't last forever. Everything in life is temporary. Okay? And so you have to live in the now. Do what's best for you. Deal with people that align with you. Deal with men that align with you. Deal with friends that align with you. Okay? Because all it's going to do is disrupt your course. And then when that person exits your life, you're going to ask yourself, what the hell did I complete? What have I done for 3 years? I haven't done anything, right? And you're going to look back and you're going to be so angry with yourself. You're going to be so angry with that person. But what it really comes down to is you. Because you are in control of your life. And nobody can be in your life if you don't want them to be in your life, okay? Nobody has a gun to your head saying that you have to keep them in your life, right? And so we have to make executive decisions every day. And we cannot take anybody that comes into our life lightly because they can waste our time. And they can disrupt your purpose. And they can be a huge distraction. Pick people who add on to your life. That pushes you to do the things that you want to accomplish. Okay? Anyways, y'all, let's keep watching.
It's people without a degree today because of a man.
Okay, really, I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time. If you don't know me, I'm Coach Andrea. I'm a betrayal trauma specialist. And sometimes things that I uncover in stories of working with betrayed women really hit me. And one of them is this commonality of women who give up their hopes and dreams for the sake of a man. But it really hit me last summer when my daughter had the opportunity to study abroad. And so we were just talking to a lot of people for her to get more advice, wisdom. Of course, I supported her wholeheartedly and told her to go for it. But when I tell you that every woman we talk to, I mean, from doctors to dentists to lawyers to friends to women who are old or in middle stages of life, every woman had a story of something they gave up because of a man. I'm talking about once in a lifetime opportunities, experiences, dreams, things that they had been planning. And then they got in a relationship. The guy didn't want them to do it, or they were afraid that pursuing their dreams would lead to the loss of the relationship. And so they gave up on it. And they were telling my daughter these stories. Now, let me tell you something. It would be very easy to blame women. Why do women do that? And, that's their fault. No. How is it that we talk to so many women and I just kept telling people the story? And when I tell people the story, they go, oh, yeah, I have a story like that. I have a story like that. Right. So clearly, it's not women. It's a problem. It's a systemic problem with the way that women are socialized. From the very early days, what is a girl? Sugar and spice and everything nice. Nice girls don't say no. Nice girls care about people. Nice girls ask other people's opinions. Nice girls ask other people for permission. Nice girls get along with everybody. Think of all the fairy tales, the Cinderella, the Snow White, how all these awful things are happening to these princesses. And what do? They forgive, they sacrifice. Princess and the Frog, she had a dream of becoming a restaurant owner, and she's going to go and save this guy who's a frog, and he turns into a prince. Beauty and the Beast, he threw her in jail, and what happened? She loves him so well that suddenly her beast turns into a prince. And I could go on and on and on. If you grew up in the 70s, 80s, 90s, don't even get me started on movies or books that came out at that time. So here's what I have to say. If you are a mom of a daughter, please start very early teaching your daughter about boundaries, teaching her about the difference between kindness and niceness, teaching her the importance of saying no, teaching her the importance of putting herself first, teaching her the importance of pursuing her dreams, teaching her the importance of not abandoning herself for the sake of attachment to a man. Because, no, we don't need the next generation of girls still telling these stories about what they lost, what they gave up, what could have been different, trying to reclaim their time because they lost it or wasted it on a man.
And all ladies, we need to be selfish. We need to be selfish just like these men. When a man has an opportunity, he doesn't think about how it's going to affect his girlfriend. He thinks about how great this opportunity is and I need to take it now. And you need to think that way about your life right now. You're not going to look this good from 30 years from now. You're just not. Take those opportunities now when your bones are young, your face is youthful, and you have strength in your body. Don't look back at your life when you're on your deathbed and regret your whole life because of a man. You will be so furious with yourself. Anyways, y'all, if y'all enjoy my content, please subscribe and like. I know this video is too long. Hopefully you made it this far. Bye now.